Good evening, everyone. It is the Tuesday Club, and it is Ray, your host tonight. We are brought to you in association with RedsBet, a betting site tailor-made for Liverpool supporters and fan causes, so no matter what, the fans end up a winner. RedsBet aim to share half of their net profits with Liverpool supporters. Check out the odds on redsbet.com or download the RedsBet app. Share the glory and gamble responsibly, lads.
Lids.
Right, lids? Okay, lids.
I don't understand
That's your alter ego. Right, so tonight we've got in, on the other side of the desk, we've got Phil tonight. How's it going, Phil?
Thanks.
We've got Andy.
Thanks.
And we've got Nilo.
No thanks.
I'm gonna stare at the camera like they do in America. You talk to me right now, pretend you're over there.
I like a man that does the golf.
Yeah.
It's really disconcerting, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Phil has been watching far too much ESPN for the last week or two.
Oh, I've been watching college football.
Phil, how have you been tuning into ESPN?
What?
How do you get ESPN, mate?
How do I get ESPN? I have
a
a huge satellite dish on my roof.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a handy little thing called JJTV, is it?
I don't know about that.
Right, okay, so we're going to start off tonight, lads. We're going to just do a quick recap. We won't spend too long, but we'll just have a quick chat about Leicester. No specifics about the game, but I just want to get your initial thoughts around getting that win and then obviously the 4 from 4 scenario. So, Phil, happy?
Look, I'm happy as can be because ultimately we've got 12 points heading into the international break. We haven't played great in the last 2 games, but we've managed to get the points on the board. And you don't want to peak 4 games into the season. We have to be building towards the second half of the season and being in position to have a run at the title when it comes to the second half of the season. And shitty wins like we did at the weekend is exactly how you get yourself there when January rolls around.
Yeah, I suppose those 4 games, typically in seasons gone by, we'd have at
dropped
least
points,
dropped 2 points,
yeah, Spurs,
if not more. Yeah.
Spurs, it's exactly what Spurs have done.
Yeah. And City have dropped points as well. So, I mean, what's your thoughts, Andy? Mr. Positivity.
I mean, they're only shitty wins because we've got accustomed now to these performances, and we seem to expect this heavy metal football, or whatever you want to call it, every single game. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not possible. It depends on the game. Needs fit. They go out and they've got the 3 points. We will get into it. We'll probably have a patch where we're hammering teams, scoring 4 and 5 goals a game. But you have to take 4 wins in a row to start. It's kind of like in my head, the most thing we could have got out of that game was kind of having 4 clean sheets. That to me would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But 1 goal in 4 games, and the 12 points is great. So fuck it, we're top of the league going into the international break, and that's where that's the highest you can be. So you can't complain.
Is it?
No, you're right about the clean sheet. Last week, Nilo, you called Alisson's save stupendous. Yeah.
Yes.
If you recall that. This week he did something which wasn't so stupendous. Yeah.
Yeah, stupid rather than stupendous.
Yeah. So that aside, are you pretty happy with the fact that effectively we've kept clean sheets in 4 games?
Yeah, of course. So listen, you can say it's a shitty win. Is there actually such thing as a shitty win?
Yeah.
No, there's not. A win is a win is a win is a win is a win. We're top of the league. Anyone complaining or having a problem with any element of that is just looking for something to give out about, and they're probably lonely. Like, why create a debate when there's nothing to debate about? We're on top of the league. We won all our games.
Did you know what?
Just get on with it. Like.
I want to debate the idea that the error is stupid.
Okay.
Right?
It's really clever, Phil.
No, but there's a whole thing because there's very little to moan about, right? We have to moan about something.
That's
okay?
my point. Why create a debate
we've
when there's no debate?
We've had goalkeepers make errors in huge moments and throw points away, right?
Yeah.
We have a goalkeeper that reminds me of our best goalkeepers who made errors that didn't cost us anything ultimately, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing I'd say, people are talking about, he's learned his lesson now. When the ball comes back to him next time, he's going to hoof it.
Yeah.
He's not.
I think he did say that.
He did come
no,
out.
He actually didn't say that. He said he's not arrogant enough to keep doing the same thing, but he didn't say he wouldn't do it again. What I like about that, even that comment he made is that he's copped on that he can't keep doing the taking on trick all the time, so he has to time it for when he's going to do his Cruyff tour next.
Yeah.
And he was also fouled, but like that's
He
neither
was
here.
fouled.
He was fouled.
He was fouled.
I'm
He was
not having
fouled.
I'm not having any of that.
If he doesn't do the chip last week and has never tried to take on anybody in a game because he fell over Brighton. Remember I gave out about the Brighton thing last week, saying that I thought I didn't like that error. Right, I thought he'd get caught and that's how he's going to get caught. Right. But he was fouled, and he didn't get the foul purely because what happened the previous week.
Yeah.
Referees do get influenced by that type of stuff and what goes on in the media. Oh, he was being a cheeky fucker and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
I think opposition fans hate the fact that we've now got an entertaining goalkeeper as well as an entertaining front three, and they're going to get a lot of satisfaction out of
mistakes
like
that.
that.
Yeah.
They'll laugh at us and they'll slag us off. But ultimately, across the season, he's going to win his points. He's going to save us in games, and that is just part of his game. We have to accept it. He was fouled, in my opinion. What?
I love it.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
his personality is strong enough to deal with it as well, though.
as you
I don't
say-
think he's confident and his personality is strong enough. Like, it's not going to affect him at all, I don't think. Whereas what the goalkeepers we've had recently, they make a mistake and they go to bits for the next 10 games.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be fine. next
As
week.
you say, the referee, I believe as well, would be just subconsciously influenced by it, because if he sees another goalkeeper doing that, it's a little bit, it's doubtful that they don't do that. He must have been fouled.
Yeah.
But now Alisson is already got a name for 4 games into 3 games would have been.
Yeah.
And so I think he's probably not going to get as much leeway when he's on the ball doing his little bits and pieces out of his goal.
But you know what no one's talking about? He's now had 11. He's faced 11 shots and he's saved 10 of them. It's outrageous.
Yeah. And he's made a lot of them look more comfortable than they actually have been. Really,
and he almost saves the whole fuck up. If you actually look back at it, right, it's amazing. He gets across. He's there. He's almost there to save the knock-in at the back post, and you're just there going, Jesus, this is the type of goalkeeper we've looked enviously at other teams, because even when they make a mistake, they're almost quick enough to recover the situation and do it. Like that was the mark of why Schmeichel was so brilliant when he was there.
Yeah.
When he made a mistake,
he bailed himself.
He still bailed himself straight out again.
Yeah.
You know the drill that we were all like getting excited about in the pre-season. Do you remember that?
Oh, the big save, yeah.
He was getting up and legging across his goal and making a save, getting back up.
Yeah.
And it was all short, like the short runs. It was like little short steps at the start. He's unbelievably quick over the first few yards coming up off the ground. His reflexes are
quick for a big man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And he just seems to have an unbelievable leap. And another goalkeeper's probably lying in the ground on his arse there.
Here's one for you, right? That's not Alisson related. I read it today. Who has had the most ever clean sheets in the Premier League?
What in through the course of the season, or to start the season, or
across the course of Premier League history? Not
goalkeeper or
goalkeeper.
What goalkeeper is that?
Over every single.
Karius.
Has to be some.
He done well the weekend.
Has to be someone who had a bit of longevity. I know someone like Ben Foster.
No, I was stunned when I read this today.
Pickford.
No, Reina has the highest clean sheet percentage.
Still?
Yeah.
Percentage?
Yeah, 47% of his games were clean sheets. That's what Alisson needs to aspire to. And he was the only one in the top 4 that hadn't won a league title medal.
That's mad. How do we draw so many games then?
0-0.
0-0. Do you remember like the Wiggins and the Birmingham games?
There were goal draws.
Look, I mean, last week I think we pretty much predicted what was going to happen. What we didn't predict was that it was going to happen in the next game. He was always going to do that, wasn't he? At the end of the day, the perfect scenario, I think we said it last week, was that he does it in a moment or in a situation where it doesn't cost us any points, particularly in a big game. And neither of those things happen. So from that point of view, we've got away with one. I would imagine a lot of opposition fans were absolutely going mad that it didn't cost us anything, and we move on, don't we? And I think you're right. He doesn't come across the type of fella who's going to be lacking for confidence when we go out and play Tottenham at Wembley, is he?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I'd wonder what Klopp's reaction to it was between the two of them. I know we'd be only second guessing and kind of shit, but I wonder.
I'd say I gave him a hug.
Did he absolutely call him a prick, or
I'd say
how
I gave
would
him a
you
hug.
say he reacted to it?
Quiet word maybe. Nothing more. No. He's not going to want to change his keeper, is he? It's fundamentally that's what we've bought.
He doesn't look like a weak character. It looks like he could have words something, no problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I'd say Klopp just said, "You fucking idiot! You. What did I tell you last week against Brighton?" And you go out there and you're after doing that again. Just don't let it happen again.
Convince with that.
Yeah.
That was German.
You got it.
I'm a coach.
Be all right in his confidence, won't you know?
Right.
He looks fairly confident, that video on WhatsApp going around.
That's him.
I don't think so.
Interestingly, we haven't seen Shawnee since that video started going down either. That's all I'm saying.
Shawnee Lawson. Right, we'll move it on to the opposite end of the pitch. Let's talk more about Mane, Firmino, Salah, particularly Salah. He just seems to be off it at the moment. Do you think any of you think this whole Egyptian thing is the kind of the chief reason for it, or do you think it's more of a case that he had a slow start last season? We've seen it. Is it more of the same again with him?
I would say last season, yeah, exactly. He had a slow start. He's also coming out of a World Cup where it didn't go quite well for him. The Champions League. He's took a lot of knocks in the last.
He was on
6
such a
months.
roll, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's took a lot of knocks, and I think he's getting a little bit roughed up now.
Bit more targeted.
Yeah. Then again, his finish in the match, the previous game was unreal.
Look, there's nothing wrong with it. We're not doubting his ability, like it,
I don't
you know.
think, yeah.
But
He had a similar sort of chance, which he didn't put away in this game, did he?
Yeah, the only thing that's kind of slightly concerning me is when he doesn't look as strong on the ball.
I don't think it's as strong. I think for whatever reason I've looked at him and it looks like he's lost half a yard of pace. Now I don't know how your shoulder can make you lose half a yard of pace, but there's been loads of chances this season where he's been one-on-one with the last defender, and last year he's burnt them for pace, and this year he doesn't seem to be getting away from them. They seem to be staying with him. Now I don't know whether he's sort of protecting is he protecting his shoulder, because that's a natural thing. If you're still coming out for an injury that's not 100%, or still you're feeling your way into it in terms of is he protecting himself slightly, or I think it's a fair point, right? Like if the sports minister in your country is threatening your mother, like it has to impact.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you said this Egyptian thing. I was thinking, what's from Egypt? Yeah, what's the Egyptian? Is the sports minister threatening his ma?
Somebody in the Ministry for Sport.
Veiled kind of, words put out.
Don't forget that your family still live here. That type of stuff. And
people who understand.
What the fuck is that about?
It's because he there's a whole thing going on about the way they're being treated. Did you not see he put out a video himself?
Well, it's one of the most oppressive governments in the world. I know that.
Oh no, but he put out a video himself saying that like when they went to Russia, all the FA and all travelled first class in it, right? They put all the players in economy class. Now I was going to ring him up and tell him about the way the FAI used to treat the other players. And
Jeez, stop! I just.
But it was great. It was great, but yeah. And he was saying, look, they were forced into a lot of situations when he was recovering or recuperating in the room with the shoulder injury. The FA sent fans up to see him in his room and did a photo shoot to say that he's still fine and he was ready to go for the World Cup. So he was just like saying that they've been, the players, the team, etc., have just been treated terribly, right? Okay. And he's looking for better improvement. And on the back of that, then this has been building up. The FA are saying he's demanding. He wants to like have a goal-lined limousine pick him up at the airport, and he wants like people with palms to fan him when he's there and all this type of stuff. And then when his video came out showing all the crap conditions that the Egyptian FA had given him, then one of the I don't know whether it was the sports minister or one of the officials in the Ministry of Sport just had to remind him that people are still here and we will come and take everything you need to, and we will imprison you if you have to, essentially, and we'll do terrible things to your family if we want.
Terrible things.
It's not ideal, is it? Let's put it that way. Is he actually going away to play for them now after all of that? Is he?
If I was him, I'd be saying, right lads, tell Ma and the rest of the family they're going on a holiday, a very long holiday, get them out of the country and just say to Egypt, I'm not playing.
I think he'd be off for, he'd be probably taking a bit of time off for family reasons if that was, was a real concern.
Well, I still just think that like even if somebody is coming out with that, no matter what's going on behind the scenes, it has to affect you mentally. Like if you're there, like even if you feel grand going out to the pitch, it does affect you. It's like if somebody dies,
someone puts your man in jail, you're certainly going to affect you, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we've seen how Degsy was affected last season with his little personal problems. Yeah,
the whole lumberjack thing. I'd be affected myself if some lumberjack was jumping up and down on me, missus.
Right, let's move on from Mo. Let's move on to Bobby. Did anyone see that photo of him with Moreno?
Yes.
The celebrity.
Adam and Paul.
The celebrity show.
You're like the two lads out fucking. What was it, Dumb and Dumber? That was
Yeah.
So is that haircut affecting his performance on the pitch, Phil? Because you seem to.
I'm convinced it's David and Goliath stuff. Cut all his hair off and he's lost his powers. And I was delighted he scored a goal. But he looks a bit heavier as well. It looks like he's come back. He's had a really good bit of fun over the summertime.
Where did he
Sat
go?
on the bench.
Ibiza, was it?
I beat
He was really on
Nando's all-you-can-eat buffet.
He wasn't eating much if he was in Ibiza, that's for sure.
No, look, my take on Bobby is that I know he scored Nilo, but he wasn't great against Leicester. He hasn't been great for the first 4 games.
Yeah, you didn't think much of him against Brighton, did you?
No, he seems off it. The problem we've got, isn't it, is that Bobby's such an integral part of what we do. There's not really someone, we can rotate the midfield 3 and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Bobby is Bobby, and if he's not there, then potentially we've got an issue.
Well, it's just the same. It's the same. Like he tends to start slow because he comes back a bit heavy after the
and he's off again now, isn't he? He's going to the States. That's not going to help things.
But they're gone till Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
So Alisson, Fabinho, and Firmino are all gone till Thursday.
I think they're getting a private jet to get them back.
Yeah, but sure, come here. We've won our first 4 matches and. Two of the most crucial players aren't really on at the minute, so do you know what I mean? I don't know what this. Why is everybody panicking?
It's a regular team as opposed throughout the squad. Like you've got Firmino now who's trying to catch up with everybody else's fitness. Klopp has said it that he's not quite there, and then he's got.
We don't get that.
What?
We don't get that.
How he's not?
Because he was there before everyone else even came in. Like what was he doing? Did he bump into Bogdan and Bogdan says, "Come on up to the balcony here"? They do deadly salads, and he spent hours and weeks up in the fucking salad bar.
Firmino was saying that players coming from France, they don't have the level of fitness that the demands of the English league.
Just because he's lost a bit of weight, he's a prick. Like
who?
Pochettino. Gone on about fitness.
Well, he said it.
So French league.
Yeah, I think they're just pissing about over there. They're not as they're not as
and all that shit.
They train whatever. It's not as intense. So there could be a bit. Well, Klopp has said it, so that's what's going on. And there's a regular team across the front. The players are looking a little bit off, apart from Mane, who's one player the month. And then the midfield hasn't really been clicking. So maybe it is an effort or an intensity thing, and maybe Klopp is just keeping the players a little bit, trying to save them, because they will come into a busier period where they're going to need.
Well, they're going to now.
Yeah,
they've got Southampton, Chelsea, United, Spurs, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid, Juventus, Barcelona, all in the space of a week.
Yeah.
But you're saying like the midfield isn't clicking. The 2 of the front 3 are a little bit off, and whatever else, but we're on top of the bleeding league.
Yeah,
I do honestly think we're looking for things to.
But we're discussing that gap in like what we consider the big performances, what we've kind of got used to towards the end of last season, and obviously the 12 points. Like, I couldn't be happier, but there is an obvious gap in the performance level.
I think it will come.
I think it will come. I
think the concern is because we've gone into this international break, haven't we? And then we've now got obviously Tottenham next up. Yeah. Then in this next block of games, we've got to play PSG in the Champions League. We've got to play Chelsea. We've got to play Man City.
And Chelsea.
So twice. I
think.
Let's not
and Napoli.
That other. Yeah, and Napoli.
We'll probably be sitting here in 6 or 8 weeks' time saying, the performance of that game, we are blown away in that game, but we don't have another 12 points.
Yeah.
So,
Fair
what
point.
would you fucking rather?
But like, I'm as excited for the Carabao Cup game, because it's just...
You're not, Phil.
I am.
Because who are you looking forward to seeing in that particular competition? Mignolet.
I want to see... I wonder, will he actually play?
Did Klopp they said Alisson plays
Champions League?
No, Champions League in the league.
None of that business.
He says in the absolute worthless cups, he's going to play Mignolet in those, hoping that they get knocked out early because they've got loads of games to play in. But like, if you look at it, right, that team, the way we've been saying we want to see Shaqiri play, and we want, like, you can see it as naturally as the point that you bring Fabinho in, that you give Moreno a run, that Matip and Lovren will get a run, Klein gets a run. You're looking at that, we've got, hang on a second, then you've got Fabinho, and you've got maybe Henderson if he needs game time because he's only come back into the team. You've got I don't know who's left. There's Shaqiri, there's Sturridge, there's Origi there. There's so many players.
Surely that game is just going to provide the biggest platform Liverpool Twitter is going to have this season for people to go completely overboard about people's performances.
People will always go overboard about look at this. Look at, and I suppose it takes us into segues nicely into the Henderson contract situation.
Correct.
But you look at it, right? At the weekend, Keita is left out, right?
Yeah.
We win the game, and the whole talk afterwards was the victimisation of the performance of Jordan Henderson, right? Like the level of he was at fault for the goal is stunning. And I'm not a Henderson-ophile. I'm not an anti-Henderson. I think he's a good player. I think he has a function in the squad. I think the things he struggles with are probably things that are called out in the Alisson goal. I don't think he's good turning with the ball. I think he's very good playing the way he's facing, but I think he's a bit of an aircraft carrier that it takes him a while to turn with the ball. So if you get him facing up the pitch, he's brilliant at spraying the ball around. If he's facing the back four, he'll easily take the ball in and give it easily to somebody else.
Yeah, but take the simple option.
Exactly, and I think the one thing that's electrified us about Keita is that he can do that, but he can also turn with the ball as well. And we've seen him being able to just turn quickly and move the ball on with that is. And that's something that Wijnaldum is good at as well when he's playing as the deepest of the centre midfield. He is good at taking the ball, he is good at turning, and he is good at playing passes forward. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Henderson has lots of positives to his game as well.
Do you not think a lot of the hysteria about Henderson's performance is because it's almost like Liverpool fans need to have a scapegoat at some point? So we got rid of Karius now. We've got Lovren's not in the team. Moreno's not in the team.
Yeah.
Lallana's just got injured again.
Well, Lallana's still a scapegoat, even though he's not playing any football.
Well, that's true. But the thing is, there's always someone.
People still talking about his Champions League performance. There is. That is his fault that we lost the Champions League.
There's always someone who people just want to have a go at. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't consider a lot of these guys. Like, if somebody's on Twitter or whatever, or on a different podcast, and they're talking about Henderson's performances, and they're being like, just being critical. It's fair enough. You know what I mean? They're being balanced, they're measured in their criticism, and they're being fair in their comments. That's one thing. But when a guy is spending an evening of his time making a compilation of Henderson misplacing passes or pointing out an option back to the goalkeeper, and then you've got hundreds of fans caving in on that and absolutely slaughtering, it's so fucking...
But do you not see the narrative that's going on? If Henderson is this good in this team, imagine what happens when we have a real DM in the team. Yeah, but it's like this has been going on since Mascherano.
Yeah. Right. Well, just to finish the point, I think this sort of hate agenda against your own player.
Yeah.
Just give up supporting the club, because it's just.
I'll read something. I had to take a photo of this earlier. One of the Twitter
because
brigade,
it is damaging. It does creep onto the pitch, whether people like it or not. Media latch onto these things and they start printing it, and journalists start talking about it, and the players hear it, and it's going to knock their confidence. If we want Liverpool to win the fucking league, we want all our players performing at the best. And fucking like hate agendas and all these narratives on Twitter is totally dysfunctional. It's not helpful. And okay, if you've a wanker playing in the team that's not putting it in, and he's saying things like, you've a lot of like there's at United, say for example, there's a lot of bad shit going on within the players talking and whatever, and the performances aren't there, and there's players admitting to not perform. We don't have that. We've now got the most committed squad in my memory anyway. They're all in behind. I was going to make that point. I wouldn't play Mingele in these Mickey Mouse Cups myself because he's talking out of skill. Yeah. So I just have him out of the squad. Like people are dysfunctional in the squad, just fuck them out. You know what I mean? I don't think Markovic actually made the...
He didn't make the squad. No, he didn't make the squad.
So Klopp clearly sees him as someone who's not helpful to the squad. So he's parked off.
Someone on Twitter today, on Henderson, someone on his announcement retweeted it and said, "Worst day as a fan in a long while." up there with the appointment of Roy Hodgson.
Yeah.
That was on Hendo's contract renewal.
So to go back to your original point about Liverpool fans need a scapegoat, I don't identify with that type of fan, and the club doesn't identify with that. That is not a fan.
Yeah,
that's a dickhead on Twitter. Yeah. That just needs to close.
Probably a United fan in reality, but anyway, just up,
So,
but in the summer he was like the Messiah. Henderson
For England.
during the World Cup, yeah.
So-
and now overnight he's shit. It's mad. I can't.
I've hated
But this
many.
is what I don't get.
But
He's never been
never
a
been that
Messiah.
good, yeah.
Even the
Andy-
biggest Henderson fans,
I have to say,
none of them rate him as high as Gerrard.
I've hated massive amounts of Liverpool players over, like, and I've had basically a decade of players to hate. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and rightfully to hate as well. Like we've had absolute fucking dirt playing for us for ages, and people making excuses. Like, I'll go back. The Stuart Downing thing will end me as a human being. Right, to this day, there was people putting up statistical reasons why Stuart Downing deserved to be in that Liverpool team. There was no reasons. The fella just used to run down the pitch, cross the ball, and run away. And if he got kicked in the first minute of a game, he disappeared out of a match.
I watched
right?
Middlesbrough last Friday night, and that's exactly what he was doing. He's still at it.
Oh, no.
He's still exactly
He was
the
really,
same.
really
There's the
bad
down-
Downing, wasn't he?
There's the Downing cross. The Downing cross is the greatest myth in football, right? He's putting it into the danger area. It's not a danger area if none of your team is there.
The corridor of uncertainty, no?
Yeah, the corridor of uncertainty. He's crossing it in when there's 19 defenders in the box.
Look,
Fair play to
I've hated players playing for the club, but I've always kind of had a soft spot for the players who put it in.
Yeah.
You know, like,
David Speedy.
yeah, one of my favourites.
One of my
Nigel Spackman.
favourites.
No, like Moreno's a good example. Always put it in. You cannot question Moreno's commitment in the team.
Just as
But he
Brian.
frustrates you because, you know,
shit.
of his reversey tackles and some of his madness. But then I've hated players. I've hated, like, under Hodgson, for example, like with Konchesky and Paulson in the team. I couldn't stand that Liverpool team. To
I didn't
me,
mind
like, was
Paulson.
just-
I thought he got bad press.
They were dark
maybe
days,
he
weren't
did,
they?
but this business is slaughtering Henderson. Like it or lump it, Klopp rates this player, and Klopp is trying to reinvent Henderson into somebody he can trust playing in front of the back.
He does
four.
trust him, though.
Yeah.
It's not he's trying to reinvent it. Like,
Yeah, he does, yeah.
And he's not making up these comments about him being as what did he call him today?
General.
As general.
Yeah.
Like, these aren't making up comments.
No.
This is Jurgen Klopp we're talking about.
No, he's got massive faith in him. I mean, just quickly
Yeah, Marshall
on the three that played at the weekend.
I'd sacked them all.
You weren't impressed, no? Genie,
In-
Milner.
Invisible went vanishing again. He did. He started
There's
off.
away day blues
Look,
come
we
back,
had
yeah?
we had a good 10 opening 10-15 minutes, and then I thought the midfield was quite poor for the remainder of the game. We never seemed to have a foothold in that game. Right? We never. Now there's a bit that we scored early, and it looks like that we're trying to sit back and catch them on the counter because they're coming at us to try score, and I absolutely accept that. But when the pressure does come on, I just thought it was two backs to the wall at times for a Leicester team who had a bit of their own energy in Ndidi and the other fella that plays in midfield for Leicester, who I haven't like, I don't know any Leicester players. I know Ndidi because Grizz spent like months telling us that we're going to sign him from January to May, and we never even went near him. Like they indeed don't. But literally, I just thought they had a bit of energy about them. And then I wondered, you know, we actually made two changes in the midfield instead of one because we put Henderson in at the bottom of the midfield and pushed Wijnaldum into a more attacking piece.
Yeah.
That we made two changes by only changing one player.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you would have brought Henderson just in as a straight swap for Keita and left Wijnaldum where he was, because to be fair to him, he's played really well in that position.
Yeah. Or Henderson for Wijnaldum.
Yeah, and leave Keita in the side.
Leave Keita in the side, yeah.
Or take Milner out. I know Milner puts in a great shift and he's honest and all that type of stuff, but he is 104.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's 4 games. But I do think that part of Klopp's idea was 4 games, 4 wins, send out my strongest 11.
Yeah.
Every game has been like changes in midfield around 60 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, there is.
You know,
I mean, been trying to get minutes into Hendo's legs as well by bringing him on.
It was
in
obvious he
games.
was going to start the game like after 3 or 4.
One of the 4.
Yeah.
Third or fourth game, it seemed obvious, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, looking at the midfield starting out, like, it's not the most dynamic trio you could pick.
Yeah.
Very little spark in there. Like, that's what I think we're going to gain from Keita as the season goes on, or Firmino when he gets fit. Something a little bit different, something a bit stronger, something a bit more imposing. But look, it was a fucking midfield that's won us the game, and
Yeah, look,
we'll
4
see it
from
again.
4.
We'll see it again.
International breaks now.
Loud of balls.
Nilo.
Loud of balls.
You're not going to the Ireland-Wales game?
Squad,
no?
holy shit.
Did you you sent on the picture of the Ireland squad? Honestly,
I thought it was like a DDSL representative.
I know. I was like, the AUL 11 to beat them.
Unbelievable, because it's terrible.
Like the Leinster Senior League wouldn't even play a friendly against them. They'd be just like, forget that.
Martin O'Neill is a fucking magician if he gets that now with that gang.
But do you not think that's a squad made for Martin O'Neill because he's a shit manager?
Well, he's not. He's doing quite well if they're the players he has to deal with.
I think if Michael O'Neill, the Northern Irish manager, had that squad, he'd probably win the World Cup.
Maybe he would, Phil. I'm not getting into that debate with
Could someone explain to me how this whole International League of Nations blah 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 works now?
It's a prequel to World War III. The last time we had a League of Nations, we ended up in World War One, and we're coming to the whole down.
That was the end of it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all that's going to happen.
I've gone from being so invested in England on the 11th of July to by the 11th of September knowing absolutely nothing about what's upcoming in international football. That's how mad it is.
This has always baffled me, right?
Yeah.
When there's no football on, we like international football.
Yeah.
Humans like international football when there's no other football on. When the other football comes on, we don't need international football, right? No. So stop it. FIFA, stop it. Yeah. FIFA, if you're watching, stop it. Right? That's what camera am I on? That one, right, grand. FIFA, stop it. We've had enough international football to deal with at all this year, right? The next time we have international football on Christmas or something, there's a Christmas break on. But this is my point. I can never understand why they don't just do, right, June and July every year is the international season. Right, and we do all our qualifiers and all that type of friendlies and all that type of stuff for international football in June and July, and then maybe in December we do another round of international games, and that way you can say, right, there's the international breaks, you put that in and you fill up the schedules, and in between you've got Champions League and you've got leagues, and you don't have this stop-start bollocks when it comes 4 games into a season, and we're off on an international break for 2 weeks.
I'm waiting until the Qatar World Cup as well. That's going to be complete madness.
November and December, that's on.
Yeah,
it's outrageous.
Madness.
Yeah. It is a real inconvenience, international football. You know, even the top teams are shit now.
Having said that, I'm looking forward to it.
Who are we even playing, Neilo?
I've no idea, Phil. Probably Wales or something. Wales, is it?
Are we playing Wales?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I think there's 2 games
Wales
actually.
China
is this it? But
England are playing. I only found out earlier England are playing Spain.
What is this League of Nations?
I have no idea. That's what I thought. Maybe
is it like
Is
it like the International Champions Cup that was on in the pre-season when every single friendly game seemed to be part of the International Champions Cup?
I don't know what it is, Phil. I've no idea.
They've moved away from this whole system of just having a qualifying group.
Is it not qualifiers for the Euros? No.
I think it counts towards qualifying for the Euros, but it's a completely different system.
Do you know what it is? It's friendlies called the League of Nations, right?
Is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Couldn't be called the League of Nations.
It is. The copyright ran out on League of Nations, and they went to grab it quick. They went in. It was like the websites. You know when your website,
you're buying a domain.
Yeah. URL runs out. Somebody saying League of Nations, quick, grab it. Gianni Infantino, League of Nations, grab it.
Are Japan in it?
Yeah.
Well, if they invade China, then it's just large.
This is for the European Championships.
What
is it?
Yeah.
Well, then how come Wales are playing China recently to beat them 6-0?
Oh, that has nothing to do with this League of Nations. Okay. No.
Do you see
League of Nations in brackets European?
Heung-min Song managed to avoid his military service.
Sounds like a soup.
Who did?
Heung-min Song.
Did.
Yeah. You know the Tottenham player.
This mad rule where if they
won the Asian Cup,
all the world. What? All the world.
That's Gav. But yeah, if they won the Asian Cup, they all get
exempt
dispensation from military service. Yeah,
all the lads. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, he would have to do military service at Christmas. He would have been gone for 2 years from Spurs.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyway, that's what's that got to do with Liverpool.
That's just to do with international
the
football.
World is mad, isn't it? That's still going on.
They have to do international service.
They're shooting each other now, going away
and having a war.
Like a fella can play football.
I know, yeah.
And they're going to send them off with all the dummies shooting each other.
Right, international football. Adam Lallana, yeah, he'd managed to not get through one training session.
Didn't get a training session. He got injured on the train. That's what it was. It was literally. It was a train
with England.
He's got a groin injury.
It was literally a train session. He went to get on a train to go to the training, and that was it.
What's more mystifying is what he did to get a call up, having not been selected for the World Cup. What has he done?
I don't know.
Did he have a brilliant pre-season that I missed, or what? I don't understand.
He does look kind of cool.
The hair might have been the clincher, I suppose. Yeah.
He was all right in pre-season, but Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's time.
Maybe it's,
I think
maybe
it's
it's
time
only
is up.
one of those like little injuries that Klopp has said. No,
That keeps him out for eight months.
I need you back here.
And has anyone got an explanation as to why the City players are all sitting with their feet up whilst all our lads get on that private jet?
Peds.
Peds?
Yeah.
That's it.
Talk of De Bruyne back for a Liverpool game.
No, there is.
With a robotic game like the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Winter
6
Soldier.
weeks ahead of schedule.
6 weeks ahead of schedule.
Just the 6 weeks. Like.
Yeah. with a cyborg leg. You'll see him running down the pitch.
They have to be clowning them.
Dr. Nick done the surgery. Hello, Dr. Nick. Hello, everybody. Yeah, they just pumped him full of drugs.
Amazingly, he went off to Barcelona and is coming back 6 weeks ahead of schedule.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
It's probably the best thing that could happen, like, just for them to make it blatantly obvious. You know, getting a player back 6 weeks early, like earlier than anyone ever gets back from that injury, is making it so obvious they'll have to look into it.
What they need,
because if they don't look into it, then someone's going to break their leg and they'll be playing next week.
Yeah,
it's as simple.
The bones will be sticking out the side on a Saturday, right? And the Champions League match will come around and they'll have like a brand new leg, just running around. Like literally, it's ridiculous.
Is he still on crutches at this stage? Is he?
No.
Did you not see him in the gym?
No.
Fucking hell.
Trampoline and everything
he was. You know them medicine balls? He was kicking one of them around.
Kicking the medicine ball.
He's kicking the medicine ball.
Do you know what the thing about medicine balls is, right? Do you ever read comics as a kid? Yeah. Do you remember the Bash Street Kids? Do you remember the Bash Street Kids?
Yeah.
The medicine ball and the Bash Street Kids always had food in it. They used to open it up. If anybody wants to go and look at it, right? They open it up, and the lads I used to think a medicine ball was full of food. So I was very disappointed when somebody threw a medicine ball at me and it wasn't full of food. I was like, yeah, where's the cake? The only taking the Bash Street Kids.
I just want to briefly bring it back to Liverpool and throw in obviously the next game being against Spurs. What were your thoughts on Spurs against...
That's what I thought was going to
happen.
What? Yeah, that would have been a great segue.
Throw-in coach.
Throw-in coach.
Yeah, you will.
Are you impressed with that?
Yeah. I didn't actually watch the video because it would have just annoyed me, but apparently Andy Gray went to town on it.
Oh, he did, yeah.
And he slaughtered Klopp. I don't know exactly what he said, but let's assume he said a lot of things that would have annoyed me.
He was only after getting off an intern.
Do you know Pat Nevin has an opinion as well?
Ollie?
Yeah.
Don't
What's he doing?
Andy's nemesis is Pat Nevin.
Is it? Yeah.
Not just him.
BBC.
There's a few of them.
Stalwart, Pat Nevin.
Pat Nevin.
Roy
Curtis writes for the Sunday World. And
Custis, that fella. Oh, that's Neil Custis, isn't it? Sorry.
And Ed Byrne, the comedian.
Oh, yeah. I have a problem with him as well, Andy. He's a fucking cabbage.
They are my three hammer room. But anyway, Andy Gray, blah blah blah, right? Like Klopp has clarified it. It's something that they looked into. It's something that's going to give them an edge. We're talking about
Joe Gomez, isn't it? Who's
big Rory Delap.
Yeah.
We're talking about like Premier League football here, elite level professional sport. Any edge counts.
Small margins.
Yeah, like
clean.
Andy Gray is still living at a time where he's kicking stones around the field. Like this is like the money involved, everything else. Like it's a fucking few bob extra for the club to bring in this fella. He might win on 3 points over the course of a season. 3 points or an extra round in the cup that's going to bring in fortunes to the club.
Do you think though?
And I doubt
a throwing coach.
I doubt it's just how to throw a ball. I would say.
But this is what I want to ask, because like you can't. Some people have a good arm. Some people don't, because otherwise we'd be all javelin throwers and we'd be all in the Olympics, right?
I think a lot of it is just technique, though, isn't it? But you need some natural physical ability too. But the technique is a big part of it.
And natural technique in it.
Yeah, but did Leicester use it to win the league nearly?
Who?
Leicester.
A throwing coach?
The throw-in. That was one of their most effective weapons, wasn't it? During when they won the league there a couple of years ago.
I don't know.
It was, yeah.
Have we got, so presumably now, obviously, you've pen takers, so before we go out, has he got a list? You see, this is the list of throw-in takers, is it? Because Joe Gomez might not start a particular game. So who's second up on throw-ins?
Nearly everyone would. Your fullback takes throw-ins.
Alisson on throw-ins.
Actually, have you seen Alisson's kind of overhand throw?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen Schmeichel throwing it from, the sideway, but someone to throw at the length of the, like 3/4 length of the pitch over like that, you have more accuracy.
Yeah, you have. And you can face it down.
Imagine what he did with two hands.
Right? Maybe he could take throw-ins in his own half and launch it into their box, because you can't see, the thing about a throw-in that people forget is you can't be offside from a throw-in.
Correct, yeah.
So if Alisson can throw the ball from his own goal
Yeah.
from the sideline, right, into their box, we could literally shove everyone up like a corner, and he could just launch that ball into the middle of the box.
Well, the thing about throw-ins is like they do, long throw-ins do create havoc.
Yeah.
Like if we have a
They're
throw-in,
no different to a corner, really,
Yeah.
are they?
well,
When you get a lot
not when
more
you- not when you
throw-ins
get
than
it, yeah.
corners.
No, I have.
Hey, you beat the first man with a throw-in. A lot of our fucking corners can't beat the first man.
But come here now, it's a type of throw-in. You know the ones that you see the fellas going, I've got a big mad long throw, and he just runs up and he just puts a huge ball up into the air and
Yeah.
it just lobs down, right? That's goalkeepers cleaning house all day long on that one, right? What you want is that sort of missile type throw-in.
Has a low
Yeah, the
trajectory.
one
That's go-
Gomez one was quite low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And go,
Yeah, penetrating throwing. But like they do, I mean, like we see in the Premier League a lot of goals come from mistakes and
Yeah.
set pieces and losing the ball in your own half. You don't see an awful lot of goals coming from big builds up of possession. And so teams that are sitting behind. So if we win a throw in, it's giving the fucking team an edge. I don't know how anyone has that negative to say about it.
Yeah.
It's pure stupidity.
if you think about how people defend free kicks from about 10 yards inside their half, right? They push everyone up past the edge of the D, so as that teams can't cramp the goalkeeper. So if you fling a ball into the box, the goalkeeper has about 5 yards to come and collect the ball at the edge of the box, right? So you can really only attack the edge of the D with that, and you're hoping for a knockdown to get somebody in the box to score in the second phase of play, right? If you can throw a ball the same distance, if you could throw a ball into the goal from there, right, you can actually put your whole team in on top of their 6 yard box and launch the thing into the box, right? Now a goalkeeper has no space to come and take the ball.
Yeah. That's an excellent point, actually.
And you can cause, because if the ball drops inside the 6 yard box, it only takes a toe poke to go into the net. Whereas if it drops 20 yards outside the box, you're going to need to go through at least 2 passes to get that ball into the back of the net. And people need to think about this.
When you talk about the difficulty of throwing can cause a defender, okay, you're not about them penetrating throws, but what about the throws that do get lobbed in? It's very hard for a defender to get up and put that away.
Yeah.
So he might knock it out for a corner, or he might nod it down, and he might just get the distance. And like, we're really, really good at winning the ball back from those situations, second balls.
The only thing is that it'll ultimately lead to, at some point, what about a forwards coach? What about a defensive coach? You know that shit that we had for years saying, oh, we can't defend, so get a defensive coach.
NFL stuff, this.
Yeah.
Mark Lawrence, wasn't he defensive coach for Newcastle at one stage?
No, wasn't he? I thought he was
Newcastle.
I thought he was the going out coach. No, that was Terry McDermott.
Terry Mac
was
no,
the social
Lawrence
coach.
was at Newcastle
Was
at one stage.
one
King
of
was there.
Andy Gray's points about corner coaches or something like that?
Kick-off coach or something, he said.
A kick-off coach.
Yeah, he's a dick, isn't he?
Yeah.
A kick-off coach.
Well, see, but that's because he's a spanner. And as for
He
hairy
probably
hands,
doesn't even realise the kick-off's changed, does he? Since
no, I'd say he's still
Probably
trying
not.
to figure out why are they not kicking it to each other.
Yeah.
look, you're right.
Him
edge.
and his mate are trying to make themselves relevant.
Keys and Gray.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They're in a...
Keys might be a bit busy at the moment.
He's always busy.
He's very busy.
like, they've gone from Sky Studio to like a factory.
A factory.
To a shed.
Yeah.
To a shed.
You know what I mean?
Next door there. Yeah.
Ted
It's
side.
the only way is up for us.
Ted, Keysy and Andy Gray.
Yeah.
We'll see them on the way down, eh, lads? Yeah.
Just not getting next door. Get Andy Gray and ask him himself.
Right, so it is International Week. I just want a quick thought on the upcoming game against Tottenham. Did any of you see the Watford Tottenham game at the weekend?
Nope.
No.
Don't care about Tottenham.
Don't care about Tottenham.
No,
Andy?
No, I didn't watch it, no.
No.
It was a while Dublin were playing.
Oh, okay. It was on at the same time as the Dubs, yeah?
Yeah. Obviously quite happy to
I've
see.
seen a bit of it, actually.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Neil's got 1,000 channels and he manages to watch
57 channels and nothing on. Who
basically
said
nothing.
that?
Watford are fucking are a good team.
Not playing Watford at this point of the season is great.
Yeah.
Because this is when Watford always seem to get their points on the board.
Wow.
If we can get, when do we play them?
Fuck, they hung around
We don't play them
for
till
long
about
enough.
November time. I think
Perfect.
it is, yeah.
Perfect. They don't like the cold.
Yeah.
They hung around for long enough.
Javi Garcia, whatever the hell his name is, the manager. His brain freezes from about November
It's
onwards.
great to be all our direct challengers who we perceive to be our direct challengers are dropping points so early, isn't it?
Except Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea. Have
Well,
12
don't mind
points.
Chelsea. They're going to fall apart. They will.
Yeah, the thing about Chelsea is, though, they have ground results out, haven't they, you know?
They have, yeah. They don't look impressive, but at the same time, they're 12 points and,
Yeah.
like,
12 points, 12 points.
Probably saying the similar thing to what we are.
CFC Daytrippers are sitting in their studio tonight.
CFC headhunters.
Yeah.
Upstairs. Upstairs.
Chlorofluorocarbons. Nothing to do with the
They come
gas
in
in your
afterwards
fridge.
and-
No,
What?
it's a different thing. It's the chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs.
No,
The gas in your
they're,
fridge,
they're in your deodorants.
Oh yeah, I use a roll on film. I'm very conscious of the environment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so the only good thing about this weekend not being international, not being a Premier League weekend, an international weekend, is the NFL kickoff.
Boom.
Yeah?
In your face. In your face. In your
So
face.
will you be spending from 6 o'clock on Sunday night through till about 1 o'clock watching NFL Red Zone?
Will be. Absolutely. I'm going to have it on multi-screens.
Multi-screen?
Yeah, I'm going to be watching a game on one side. I'm going to have a Red Zone on another bit. I've got 2 laptops, television and a tablet on the go to keep up to date with all the games.
So I want a quick prediction from everyone. Who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Phil?
Come back to me.
Andy?
Oh.
You only know 4 teams. So.
Normally you pick my team. You tell me who I'm going to say is going to win. Who am I supporting this year?
I don't know. Why don't you go for someone like the New York Giants? They've got plenty of decent new blood coming through.
Boston
Barkley.
got a team.
Yeah.
Boston got a
Yeah,
team.
the
New
New
England
England
Patriots.
Yeah, well, them. Yeah, them.
Again?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's always fun with the
FSG
Patriots
don't own
on
them.
Super Bowl night.
I say Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys, yeah.
No, that's a long shot, Neil.
Yeah, I know, but they're my team, so.
All right. Fair.
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are the Raiders still going?
America's
Wow,
team,
yeah.
Phil.
Can't
America's
get
team.
away from now.
This is their last year.
Well, they're moving to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
See,
this
that
the-
would be some trip, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To go out to Vegas and watch
I'd never make
The
it
Las
home
Vegas
alive. I'd make it
Raiders.
home alive.
take in a boxing match.
No.
That's why I haven't been.
See the
You should
Raiders.
not Ever.
I never go to
UFC.
Vegas. And you
Ever
never.
go to Vegas.
No, I won't come make a home
Because
in
over
the, home in the
in
box.
Vegas, it's acceptable to behave like you.
That's a slanderous remark.
Neil, have you never been to Vegas?
No, Phil. Obviously, I'm still here.
I would pay. I think we should pay for Neil to go to Vegas
No way.
Standard.
and a cameraman.
No way.
Just follow Neil around for
for
24
me.
hours and stick that out as a video. Yeah, with Neilo in Vegas.
Not going. No way. Out of the question.
It'd be like the Hangover 6.
You would love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy.
It is epic, isn't it?
It is
It's
amazing.
crazy.
Everyone's a good mood in Vegas, aren't they?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just party central. Like,
Yeah.
As you're walking up and down the strip, everyone is just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, how many games are the Browns going to win?
They're going to win games this season. I'm going to say a 3.
3 games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
3 and 14.
Yeah. That'll be an improvement.
Well, it will be the
Probably
best best
2 of them
season in
will
3
probably
years.
be against my team, which is the Bengals. So hopefully not. Just on the NFL, anyone see all of this furore around Nike and
Colin
Colin
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick? And
Yeah.
what's your thoughts, Phil?
I don't.
Are we really talking about NFL? Yeah.
Well, we're
No,
talking
this
about Nike.
this is
Are we
the
talking about NFL?
Nike.
Really?
this
Are we-
this
is
this
an
this
NFL
is no
discussion,
this is not an
It
NFL
is an
discussion.
NFL
It's not a discussion.
You said Kaepernick.
This is a discussion about Trump.
I'm out here.
Not discussing NFL. I came here to talk about football.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Walker, that's an official walker.
That's an official one. Look,
Don't on that dog.
Live, ladies and gentlemen.
I think he's sitting in his chair. It's all wet.
he's cycling home. He's like Kaiser Soze when he walks out that door. He starts running for the train.
Right.
The Kaepernick thing, I don't know. It just seems like I hope it's a genuine gesture by Nike. But like if doing something like that is an easy way of getting publicity.
There's
and
no
global
chance that
publicity.
Liverpool go with Nike, is there?
There is.
Is there?
Bosses me.
Have they?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't think they do.
Bosses me.
I think they're so tied in with New Balance in Boston that they'll renew the deal, and New Balance will give them the next record deal for the club.
It doesn't have to be though. That's the thing.
It doesn't have to be a record deal, but it'll be a record deal for the club.
Yeah, but am I right in saying you might know this?
Okay.
Like
As
with
an
Adidas and Nike and whoever, they have a certain amount of restrictions.
Yeah.
About their brand.
Yeah.
That New Balance don't have. So Liverpool get a hell of a lot more control over their own merchandise and where they can sell their own merchandise, worldwide. So, for example,
that was always the biggest problem with
you're
Adidas.
in China or you're in somewhere.
But that was a different time, wasn't it? So who's to say that they can't negotiate similar terms to what they've got with New Balance?
Who's Nike got in the Premiership?
They've only got a certain amount of space for.
But who do Nike have at the moment?
Big brands
in the shops.
Adidas, for example, like obviously have United, they've Real,
Chelsea.
You go to
who's Chelsea with?
Countries and all you see is their brands. With New Balance, they can get into these countries.
Yeah.
So okay, it might not be 100 million a season. But if you got 80 million a season and you're able to promote the club,
when they signed that deal in 2015, it was either the most second valuable or third valuable deal in the Premier in the Premier League, right? And going back to your point, literally they go in to a country as New Balance's flagship team.
Yeah.
They don't get that. If your Adidas, your flagship team is Real Madrid or it's Bayern Munich or it's United, right? You're up against that as another side. Now, I know we'd be a flagship brand, but we'd be another flagship brand that's there. With Nike, you're going to have Barcelona, you have Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. I don't know who they've got left in England at this stage. It's Man City, right? Whereas New Balance, the flagship brand is Liverpool.
Yeah.
Look, and if they want to open up new markets, it's Liverpool.
My point is, don't get when they do come up with this deal, don't be too fixated about exactly how much it is, because it does empower the club to be with New Balance.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge amount of control over there in Boston between the two organisations, and that's the way it'll probably be.
I think a lot of this just comes down to people wanting to put kits out on Twitter, doesn't it? Adidas.
No, people just want to put Adidas kits out on Twitter. Fucking weirdos. Although I will say you boys in green have done a great mock-up Irish jersey for people.
Yeah.
No, it genuinely is. I said I'm not one for retweeting that stuff, but I retweeted it last night. They've created their own retro-looking Ireland jersey for the Irish fans, as opposed. And New Balance have got the Irish jersey horribly wrong this time around. So it's like where I've been praising them in here about getting the Liverpool jerseys right, they've got the Ireland jersey wrong, and that you boys in green one is a far superior product.
Yeah. Well, it's that generic Adidas jersey that all the GAA clubs and a lot of the
GAA clubs don't use Adidas.
No. You look at whatever GA fans now. They're arriving at Croke Park with Adidas county shorts on.
Yes,
fucking
because they just go off and get a generic jersey and
so in these towns, they're buying these generic things and they're stitching on the crest, and it looks slick.
Do you reckon they're mass stitching on the crest?
Yeah.
Leash!
But I've seen, I think it was a Sligo shirt, like fucking deadly navy colour with the Sligo crest on it. Like kind of modern looking Sligo crest, Adidas, and the three stripes that start at the shoulder, just like that.
Oh, right.
The boys and green thing. And they look quality.
Right.
So,
there you go.
If you're that, if you must have an Adidas Liverpool shirt, go and buy the Adidas
Make your own.
Red one.
Instead of just doing drawings on Twitter, go and turn your Twitter drawing into a jersey.
Those things are like that. I don't know. They were probably designed by Adidas for club football teams.
Yeah,
€12 for the fucking plain Adidas jersey.
Well, this is it. I mean, the cost of the jersey now are so ridiculous, aren't they? So like any kind of decent kind of replica as such with Liverpool brand and as such on it.
Yeah, you can still get loads of Adidas Liverpool jerseys on the retro sites. And you know what I mean? Does it really matter?
The fascination is bizarre for grown men going on. But again, most of it's Twitter driven. Like you see people who go to the matches, most adult males aren't wearing jerseys to it. Well, most adult males who are allowed it on their own aren't wearing them.
I haven't worn a jersey to a game for years.
I think to a game it's acceptable.
It's acceptable, but
do you wear jerseys to a game?
To a game? Yeah. I wear a jersey to a game.
Fucking
but
weird.
I wouldn't be going around.
Is there name and number on the back of it?
No. Like Riz?
Yeah.
No, he got that as a present.
You know, no, I would draw the line at a name and number on a jersey once you've passed kind of adulthood.
Yeah.
Past 12.
Yeah.
If it was acceptable, who would you have on the back of your shirt?
It's not acceptable.
If it was acceptable,
It's,
who would you have?
No, it's like
Phil?
Well,
Who would you have on the back of your shirt?
Redknapp.
If it was acceptable.
Redknapp 15.
grown-ups that have name and numbers on the jerseys have them adult baby parties.
Imagine nappies.
Yeah, that's what they do at the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you have, Ray?
I'd have Mo Salah.
Would you?
You.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
Why not Redknapp?
Harry Redknapp.
McManaman would have been another one as well.
Could you ever picture yourself like, you know, just putting like Ray 10 or something?
No.
Like what's happening there? You know, like,
I had
I
Jersey.
can't imagine the embarrassment of going up to the you know, to someone in the club store and saying, "Oh, I want Ray 10 on the back."
I've a Reebok jersey with my surname and 21 on the back of it.
What?
but 21 would kind of be.
It was a
You got it
present.
for a 24th.
I got it as my 24th present.
As long as you don't get it like 40th or 50th or anything like that.
Or 36th or something. Andy 36.
I would get like
Redknapp. Fowler 23.
You definitely get that at least 70 would.
7 Doglies.
You have Douglas 7.
No, I have a shirt in a box with Doglies. With
No, I've seen you with a Douglas 7 jersey on you.
Not dog leash.
You haven't seen me with a Doglies jersey.
A dog leash.
Why are you saying that?
I have no jersey that has a name on the back.
I think you do.
I have a few Kenny. You know what I have? That a Wary one, the one that came with the number on it, the 84 or no, the 86
With the 7 on it?
Yeah, but I just don't really wear them. It's more kind of like a have thing.
You sure?
Yeah, when
Sure
did you
you-
see me wearing it?
When the time you used to send pictures to us where you're taking your jersey
Yeah, I
off and you
would've
got nervous.
I would have put pictures of the jersey, but no.
I don't know.
The worst
Brenda, if you're
present
watching, let us know if he's wearing that jersey, yeah?
The
Take pictures.
worst present I ever got, right? It was a leaving present from a job that I was in for years, working with a bunch of people who work with me for years, and they got me a Liverpool jersey as a leaving present, and they got my name on the back, yeah. Oh no! And they spelt it wrong.
Eric Dickerson.
Never got worn. It never got worn.
How do you spell it?
EN instead of IN.
No
Can
way.
you get them? Fucking hell! Can you go to a shop and get it taken off? Is that possible?
No, I don't think so. I think
There's
they'll
a-
exchange.
There's one now.
It's a business.
There's a business. You know the way they're always moaning when somebody gets sold or they change the number? If you had the number changing business, you clean up.
Like those companies that do the tattoo parlors that go over your tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So you could laser off a number.
Sorry, there's a lad here and he says, you remember seeing a lad with Bab 6 on the shirt? He just added EL to make a babble when he signed. That's genius, actually.
That is genius.
There used to be
yeah.
a fella who drank in the local who had Ints 8 Man U.
What?
Yeah.
Ints
8
8
Man U. Oh. 8 frogs' legs. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Ray, have you ever had a jersey with a name on the back of it?
Just that one that I've
Just that
spoken about, yeah.
Eric
I
Dickerson.
never wore the Eric Dickerson jersey, no.
Do you still have it?
No.
It's such a pity. If you had the Eric Dickerson jersey, you could put it in and put it
I
up
didn't even
behind
take,
you.
this is before I went to Australia.
On a
I didn't
brush.
take it to Australia.
Hmm.
Now, he bought me a towel and I've still got it.
Yeah.
LFC towel.
Yeah?
You into that, around the pool, LFC towels? When you go on holiday?
No.
No?
I try to avoid anyone recognising that I can speak English whatsoever when I'm away on holidays. I can't wait to get away from people who
You
speak
don't
English.
really like drawing attention to yourself on holidays.
I used to religiously make sure that I had a Liverpool jersey to go on holiday with.
Did you?
Yeah. Up until well into my 20s.
And at what age then did you shave your moustache off? Alright, calm down.
Right, okay, so look, we'll wrap it up, yeah? We've had a live on-air walk-off, which I think probably beats Ian's internet going down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grizz running off to have some chicken. What else have we had, Gav? We've had a few lately, haven't we? We've had a few mad ones, but I think that probably tops it all, yeah.
Well, it's not the first time that Neil's walked out in the middle of a pod.
No, that's
so it's
true,
like
yeah.
he regularly does it. It's like as a child with ADHD, he can't sit still for long.
I think he could be on the way to Vegas.
I think you got him excited with the talk of Vegas there. If you check the airport, you'll be sitting there in American Airlines hoping for cancellation.
Last seen on WhatsApp last night at what?
4:51 this morning.
Not seen until 5 minutes before the podcast.
Just appears.
And now not seen for a few days.
I know, yeah, we won't. We'll check later on to see what time he finally goes to bed.
And he managed to conduct a bit of business as well, beforehand. So he's had quite a productive day. He's old Neil, hasn't he?
Impressive. It's impressive.
He's got some holiday tips out of us for Vegas.
Right, who's England playing the weekend?
Spain is my understanding.
Is that in the Six Nations thing?
The League of Nations.
I thought it was just Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales, and
no, that's
Italy and Argentina.
To qualify for the final in Wembley, yeah.
So England are playing Spain.
England are playing Spain.
What day is that on?
I'm going to say something. Right, we'll wrap it up. We will see you all next week, next Tuesday. Phil's back in the host chair.
Yep.
What's this? Have you got some kind of special coming up? Is it next week? Is it the week after? In terms of, have you got some kind of special planned for an anniversary of some description?
Am I on there? Oh yeah. Just let me know what camera I'm on. Am I looking at the right one?
Yeah.
Oh, right, grand. We've got a new podcast starting. We're doing a lot of new shows. You'll hear some of them coming out because we've got something else planned. They aren't. But anyway, The Walking Red. That's the name of them. Their first pods are out this weekend as we go through international break because the COP table obviously are having a week off because there's no game, and the final whistle because nobody will be watching anything bar the NFL at the weekend they're on. So we've got 2 Walking Red pods out over the next few days. One out before the weekend and one out over during the weekend as well. Which we've got special guests from Paris Saint-Germain, Napoli, and who else is in our group? Red Star Belgrade.
Red Star.
Yeah, we actually didn't talk about Shaqiri and the threats that would be made of Shaqiri already, right? And veiled threats from the Red Star Belgrade, but the lads will get into that as well. And then they're going to have a brief look at the games that have got the 4 games that have gone past. They're just going to review them as a block as opposed to just game by game in terms of what's there. They'll be coming up. They'll be a regular part of something new that we're building at the moment. And then what else have we got? That's about it. That's all I want to go into for the moment.
Cool.
Huh?
I want to be here when you announce the other.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
Because I won't be here next week.
Will you?
Yeah. No.
Well, you'll have to just listen or watch. Yeah? You don't watch.
I've been calling this one for a while.
Right, we'll wrap it up. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned. Plenty more coming out. And if you haven't listened to it yet, download the Fatback 4 from Sunday. Still very relevant. Laugh a minute. Gav and the lads.
Sounds shite though.
No, it's not. And there is some fantastic intro music as well. Get onto it. Right. See you later. Over and out, as Gav would say. See you next week.